With the rise in cases and hospitalizations across California, Governor Newsom and the state's Department of Public Health last week announced a limited stay-at-home order for purple tier counties. Currently, all of Southern California is in the purple tier. The order prohibits non-essential work, gathering, and movement at night between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. Essential activities include late-night grocery pickups, pharmacy runs, and veterinarian visits, but social gatherings and parties are not allowed. A statement from the governor's office explains that social activities have a higher likelihood of leading to reduced inhibition and reduced likelihood for adherence to safety measures like wearing a face covering and maintaining physical distance. Last Tuesday, the Temecula Valley Chamber of Commerce hosted the annual Southwest Regional Economic Forecast. In spite of the pandemic, the cities and the region are continuing to grow with incoming new business applications, housing sales, and city construction projects. Dr. Tanner Osman of UC Riverside School of Business Center for Economic Forecasting and Development told the virtual audience that the pandemic is greatly affecting people of color, lower-income workers, and the hotel and food services industries. However, in the Southwest region, higher income earners are driving the housing market, helping the area's economy. He believes the worst will be behind us in the spring of next year. Although we've been seeing less cars on the road due to the COVID shutdown, the California Highway Patrol is warning everyone to prepare for holiday traffic. They say that people will still be going on vacation, just choosing to drive rather than fly, which increases the chances of accidents. We invited California Highway Patrol Information Officer Mike Lassick to tell us what we need to know to stay safe. What are your tips for traveling this holiday season?
We have a maximum enforcement period during any holiday season where we have a maximum number of officers out there working the roads and the highways, freeways, ensuring traffic safety. If you are going to travel during this time, do a vehicle pre-check. Check your tire tread, check your oil fluids, check your windshield wipers. Make sure you're topped off with gas. Make sure your cell phone, you have a charger in your car in case you are broke down on one of the highways out there. During the holiday times, our DUI traffic collisions increase, and we want to make sure that people designate a driver during this holiday season. And designated driver is not the person who had the least amount of alcohol that day. It's the person who had nothing to drink that day. Another thing is stay off of your cell phone while you're driving. It is very dangerous to be a distracted driver. Distracted driver traffic collisions are increasing because more and more people have cell phones. Another tip I'd like to discuss is wearing your vehicle seatbelt. Something very important that, believe it or not, in today's day and age, people are still not wearing their seatbelts. Seatbelts save lives and they prevent injuries. So whether you're the driver or passenger, make sure you buckle up.
Thank you so much for all you do to keep us safe. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Lassig, for the information. We all really depend on our first responders to be there for us. There would be nothing worse than needing a first responder and not having them show up or be late due to a false alarm call. Mini burglar and fire alarms are designed to automatically trigger a 911 emergency when set off. And according to latest records, in 2016, the Riverside County Sheriff's Department received over 15,000 alarm calls and responded to 13,400 of them. But only 37 alarm calls were determined to be legitimate. The county fire department also received 3,000 false alarms that year. District 1 County Supervisor Kevin Jeffries is making it a priority to fix this issue. I spoke with his Chief of Staff, Jeff Green, to find out how they're getting it done.
Upwards of a quarter of the calls that were being received by the Sheriff's Department were false alarms. So that's an awful lot of time that deputies are spending responding to an empty business when they could be responding to actual emergencies instead. If you call 911 multiple times and there's nothing when they show up, there is a citation. I mean, that is actually against the law. But if it happens automatically through an alarm system, there is no fine, there is no sanction, and that's what we're trying to fix.
What are some causes of false alarms?
They're caused by malfunctions of the equipment usually, but also negligence by staff. Somebody forgets to lock a door and then triggers the alarm on the way out, or somebody walks in and doesn't realize they don't know how to turn off the alarm. So training can fix that. Having more modern alarm equipment can fix that. We have some of these companies that have had as many as 40 calls a year false alarms to their address.
What is the ordinance that you're proposing to fix this issue?
The goal of this is to create at least a little bit of a sanction. First of all, if they roll out on a false alarm the first time and the second time, there is no charge, but they will be presented with a notice that they've received one, and then if they get a third, there will be a fine. There's also a thing about requiring training. We also require alarm companies to make 2 efforts to contact the owner of a building before they actually dispatch automatically to the fire or sheriff. The goal is to make people understand that they have to fix their problem.
Well, thank you, Jeffrey Green, for your time. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Supervisor Jeffrey's office expects the Board of Supervisors to vote on the ordinance by the end of this year. If it passes and goes into effect, it will only apply to unincorporated parts of Riverside County. Most incorporated cities already have their own false alarm laws in place.